Hi, everyone. My name is Will, and I'm here today to walk you through the caucus and convention process, how to register, and how to support Lene Palmisano and her reelection campaign to the Minneapolis City Council 13th Ward. We're going to be discussing quite a bit of things, but most importantly, at the end of this brief video, you will come away with the knowledge on how to properly register for this year's virtual caucus and convention season. First and foremost, the Minneapolis DFL is hosting virtual caucuses and conventions to endorse DFL candidates. This is an incredibly great way for you to get involved in the democratic process and to make your voice heard. We're asking many of you to not only attend caucus, but to serve as delegates for our campaign as well. Delegates are incredibly important in this process because they get to have a say in which candidate is endorsed by the DFL. We as a campaign need 60% of the delegates involved in order to secure the DFL endorsement. We're recruiting many of you in order to secure our chances of getting this really important endorsement. Lene is counting on all of us to step in and make our voice heard during the caucus and convention process. Now, there are 5 steps to get involved with the Minneapolis caucus and convention process. In this brief video, we will really just be focusing on the registration portion of this. So let's get started. Make sure to mark your calendars. Registration is happening this month, April 1st through April 30th, with an optional virtual caucus night happening April 27th at 7 p.m. Elections for delegates and in the ward will be happening later on, and we'll be sure to keep you in the loop as these important events continue to happen. So let's focus on registering. This whole process will probably take no more than 10 minutes. Head to caucus.dfl.org to begin the registration process by filling out a brief registration form. When you go to caucus.dfl.org, plug in your house number, zip code, and after doing that, you'll be able to put in your street name and see the information necessary for you to register. After you have reviewed your information, simply select the link Register for your virtual caucus, marked with that orange arrow. You'll be taken to a Google form where you'll get a bit of an introduction as well as a video from the Minneapolis DFL chair, Ken Martin. After reading the caucus affirmation section on the second page, just simply select You Agree and move on to page 3. Page 3 is going to ask you for some contact information. Plug in the necessary information and continue down into the form where you'll be able to plug in more information, and you will get to the candidate section of this form. If you're planning on participating in your city convention, plug in your information. We're here to focus on the ward convention. When you get to this section, be sure to select Lene Palmisano as your first choice and leave all the other sections blank. Right below, you'll have the option to run as a ward convention delegate. We ask you to please mark yes, and then yes again to the next question where it asks you if you plan on running as a delegate. Marking yes to this final question will allow for you to identify your gender, and we'll ask you for a brief optional explanation as why you plan on running as a delegate for our campaign. We invite you to say something about the time you've spent in our ward or why you support Lene. After this registration process is over, make sure to keep an eye out 2 to 4 days after you register in the mail for a postcard to confirm your identity. You will get this postcard, plug in the unique code found on it at the DFL website in order to verify your identity and be fully registered. Precinct caucuses again are happening at the end of April. We are so excited for all of you to get plugged into this process. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Will, at 320-583-1218. Thank you all for your time, and we look forward to your support. Bye-bye.